Hello, I'm Mark.
I'm Julie.
And welcome to Weir on the Move.
Hello.
Hello.
And you join us on this lovely sunny day.
You do indeed. Eric's just taking a drink.
Yeah. He has to be nice and noisy in the background.
He does. Well, outside of that or he snores.
Yeah.
And we know how much some of you don't like that.
I don't even know what day of our isolation it is now.
Yeah.
I think everyone, we did a few days, we did about 6 days before everyone else, didn't we? So
I know what day of isolation it is. I'm not doing it by day or by number. I'm doing it by when things run out.
Right.
So, apart from my patience, obviously, today is beer run out day.
It's doom and gloom day.
It is beer run out day. In fact, it's probably the only time I'll dice with death and stand next to some infected people to get some beer.
No, you're not.
No, I know. Because somebody did say to me that hand sanitizer contains 70% proof alcohol.
Yeah.
So I just work on the premise that if I put the alcohol on the inside, it'll keep it at bay, I think.
Most alcohol isn't 70% proof.
No, it's not. No.
Doesn't mean you have to drink twice the amount.
I did think that. So.
It kind of leads us on to, we thought today we'd talk to you about the stages that everyone will be going through. And there are a number of stages that people will go through. And we need to be mindful that everyone will go through these stages at different times. Some people will miss out stages, so they won't do them all. But I trained as a family support worker before doing all this, so I've done a lot of training on grief and loss. And one thing that we're all going through at the moment is exactly the same as the stages that we will go through for grief, because we've all lost something. The fact that we can't go out and we can't do this, or in our businesses, the things that we wanted to do we can't do anymore, or the fact that we can't see our children and loved ones. So we're all going through a grieving process at the moment.
I think also as well, we've all lost, maybe not a sense of hope, but there's a sense of ambition. When you're in business and you're making money or you're doing things that you want to do, and no one can stop you because you're firing on all cylinders. Suddenly, when somebody says stop, you then have. Yeah. You get up in the morning and go, what do I do today? You know, if you're self-employed, my business is crumbling, or I'm losing money, or you know,
I've got a shop, or
I'm losing clients, or if I've got a shop that you can't open your doors, so you lose a sense of purpose.
Yeah, and we just thought, you know, it would be quite nice to tell you that it's a natural process, and it's a good process to go through. It's not a bad process. So the first process that everyone will go through is denial. That, you know, it's not happening, I don't believe it, I don't understand it, it's, you know, I'm going to ignore it, it's not there, it's going to go away. And whether that's to do with coronavirus or the fact that, you know, your business might be failing, whatever, we will all go through that denial stage. And that's a really, really good stage, because that is your brain protecting you from what is really actually happening. Yeah. If we didn't have that protection and that denial, we would absolutely crash. So
I likened it when Julie was explaining it to me, a bit like the bumper on a car, or if you're American, the fender on a car, which is that you might still crash, but the fender saves you from serious injury.
Yeah.
And that's what this stage is like.
Yeah, absolutely. The next stage, stage 2 that you will go through, is anger, and you will
display a lot of that.
You will see a lot of this at the moment, and unfortunately, it's, you know, this shouldn't be happening to me. I'm so cross. Maybe I'm so cross at the government for not doing this. I'm so cross at somebody else, and so we either blame ourselves, blame our loved ones, or blame other people.
Julie's been blaming me for years. She's been in the anger stage for years.
And you'll also see this on Facebook and social media at the moment. So kind of if we're all aware that everyone's going to be going through these different stages at different times, you know, that we're really cross that people aren't taking notice and doing what they should be. But they might be in that denial stage where they don't believe it's all happening. So yeah, stage 2 was anger. Stage 3 is bargaining. So this is the stage that you go through where you say, well, if I do such and such, can this happen? And a lot of people look at their beliefs going through this stage, you know, and say, if this happens, can you make sure, you know, my family is looked after, that type of thing. So it's the thought processes in your head about bargaining. The next stage, which is actually quite low down on the sort of 5 stages, there are some people believe there's 7 stages, but most people believe there's 5, is depression. And I think we've all gone through this at some time or another. And we've got to make sure we don't get stuck in this area too much. So, you know, this is a good area to be because we're near to the next stage, which is coming out and accepting. So you may find that this is the stage where you can use different resources like Mind, and we'll give you some bits and pieces in the video that you can go and have a look at, something to help lift your mood.
Yeah.
But, you know, this is a good stage to be at because this is near to the acceptance stage, which is the next stage. And acceptance is obviously when we accept what is going on around us and we look and make plans for the future. And that's a really nice stage to be in. So some of you might be in that stage at the moment, others might be in denial. Some might have gone from denial and straight to acceptance, and, you know, different people react in different ways, but they're the kind of 5 stages that we go through.
To put it really simply, you've got what? What? Really? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's it in a nutshell.
That is it.
There is another stage as well. It's called drunk. I went straight from denial to drunk.
Yeah.
I skipped out the bits in the middle. But no, they are very, very valid points.
So, you know, that's a kind of a serious, we don't want to be too serious, you know, a point and upset people, but it's really good to know, and it's good for you to know with your family what different family members are going through at the moment and the processes that they're working through.
So that was what kind of led us on to the inspiration for this video, because all of the boat tubers are currently sitting around scratching their heads thinking, how am I going to find some content? Yeah. But there are some very, very useful things. I mean, I said to Julie, I said, it strikes me that every week we do a video and you stream it into your lounges. So we come to your house, effectively. And the idea is that how can you expand your environment without leaving your armchair? So there are some really good resources. I mean, the best way to describe it is the real world is closing down, but the virtual world is opening up. So the virtual world wants you to come out and explore. And so if you're sat in your house and you're in one of these stages, preferably the acceptance stage, because that's when you're looking for new things, new challenges, you're going to need to try and find some ways of escaping the 4 walls that you're trapped in. So the internet and the virtual world is a marvellous place to go. So we started thinking about how you can go travelling, for example. Yeah. How could you visit New York City right now and see live footage of New York City? How can you visit Rome? How can you visit a beach? How can you go and tour a gallery or a museum? How can you watch a play? Because it was my birthday a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. I turned 50 and my daughter bought me a ticket to see a play in London. Well, they all cancelled. But with the virtual world, you can do all of those things. So we did a bit of research and we found 5 things that will keep you sane, or we hope will keep you sane while you're in lockdown. And the first one is we want you to travel the world. Now, you can access webcams, traffic cams, just, you know, cameras in the streets of almost every city in the world. I'm going to put a link down to a website. It's called Skyline Webcams, and it's going to go in the description below. And all you do is click on that, and you can literally travel from Australian beaches to the centre of Rome, to Madrid, to New York City on 42nd Avenue. You can do the top of the Empire State Building if you want. And it's just a way of accessing some outside space without leaving your inside space. And it's another thing that maybe would just keep you sane. So that was the first one. The second one was expand your mind. And it strikes me that at this point, it's a really good idea to start looking at things that learning, basically, to start learning new skills and new abilities. It might be that you've always wanted to learn a language. Do you realise that there are thousands upon thousands of free online courses? Because what the universities around the world have done is they've got together and they've started releasing free courses for exactly this purpose. Because they've realised that people out there are looking for things to do. Even the Open University. If you go on the Open University, and I'll put a link to that in the description below, if you follow that link, it will allow you to access 1,000 free online courses, ranging from Welsh heritage to Chinese culture to how to write prose, how to start writing a book, how to write poetry, how to paint. Any number of things that you want to learn about, it's one of these courses. And they range from sort of intermediate, easy, intermediate to hard, and also from sort of quick 2-hour courses to sort of 15, 20-hour courses where you can really immerse yourself. So there'll be a link to that below.
There's also lots of resources so that you can go and visit art galleries or museums, and we'll obviously put the link below so that you've got access to all of them. Yeah.
And the idea is, again, you know, you're stretching your legs from your armchair. So, and then you can watch a play. I mentioned that in the build up to this, but for example, the National Theatres have decided that every Thursday on their YouTube channel, and it's actually called the National Theatres at Home, they're going to release a live version of a play. So, for example, I think the next upcoming one is called One Man, Two Governors with James Corden. That's this coming Thursday, I think.
I think it starts the beginning of April. So
beginning of April, sorry.
Thursday in April.
The first Thursday in April.
Yeah.
So if you go onto the National Theatre at Home, or just type in National Theatre on YouTube, and then it will take you to the page, you'll be able to see the upcoming plays that they're going to be releasing. But it's not just the National Theatre. I think there's a lot of theatres that are doing it.
Yeah, it seems to be. So if you do a Google search, you'll see lots of different national theatres. There is also a fabulous resource for audiobooks. And we will also put that link below.
Yeah.
There are children's audiobooks that are free, like Winnie the Pooh, Beatrix Potter, which is quite nice, you know, if you want to settle your children down. Teen
novels,
classics,
Frankenstein,
Jane Eyre, and
Moby
things
Dick.
like that. So there's lots of wonderful books online on the Audible, and they're all free. But we will put a link in below. We
will. And by far the best resource we've found that you can access for free is a thing called Chatterpack. And we'll put a link to that down in the description below. It's amazing. It is the one-stop shop for virtually any kind of activity you can think of in the virtual world. So you can take a tour of a museum. There's over 500 museums and galleries you can tour. You can learn up to 30 languages. There's 50,000 free ebooks on there. There is, webcams, traffic cams. There are resources that you wouldn't possibly imagine. Possibly imagine.
There's lots of resources on there as well to help support your mental health and well-being. So all them links that we said we would put down will be in Chatterbox.
Yeah.
Chatterpack.
Chatterpack. Yes. We're going to keep it nice and short because we wanted to try and do something that might bring a bit of light relief to your situation. The only thing we haven't, or I've been searching, I haven't been able to find yet, is virtual beer.
Sure, someone can send you a photo.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, actually. If you're in isolation right now,
send us a photo of what you're drinking.
A challenge for you. Last time we said send us a photograph of the view from your window.
Was amazing.
Oh my goodness me, we got 70, 80, 90 people, 90 pictures, some amazing views of mountain tops, snow-filled trees, and just amazing, and then just everyday views as well, just streets and so on.
Really good to see where everyone was, and it helps you. I mean, you guys can see us, we can't see you, so it was really good to be able to connect in that way. It
was, and also it's nice for everybody else to see what it is you're looking at. Okay, some of you are luckier than others, but it's still nice to see what you're looking at through that window that you can't get to on the other side. We wanted to do something that would just kind of engage with you, so that you would be able to, get a different perspective on the world out there. It's not in lockdown. It is, physically, but virtually, it's as wide open as it's ever been. But the challenge I want to set you is, instead of a view from your window, I want you to send me a picture of your drink.
Could be tea or coffee.
Tea, coffee, water, juice. Yeah, they're down the list. They're down the list. But wine, whiskey, beer,
cocktails.
Vodka, cocktails.
Who can do the best cocktail?
Yeah, just send us a picture of what it is you're drinking. Because all we know so far is that the government have allowed off licences
in the UK
to stay open as a vital service. So we assume that either people are going to come out fit and lean with their Joe Wicks exercise routine, or they're going to come out fat, bloated and alcoholic. I know which one I'm going for.
Next week we will be seeing Mark doing the Joe Wicks workouts. Did I just land that on you?
Yeah, you did, and I'm not doing it. I'll be doing the beer stretch.
You can't. You haven't got any.
I'll probably make a mercy dash. Yeah, I'll make a mercy dash to an off license. So, but anyway.
Yes. Look after yourself.
Yeah, look after yourself. Look after your mental health as well, and keep sane out there. Yeah. Do access some of these resources, because they are free and they are absolutely amazing. They really are. We've been looking at them all morning, and it's just a really easy way to a bit of escapism. So
and we will see you next week.
We will. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Is that all right?
I hope so.